Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, leaders, and guests. I, Toastmaster Anushika, your Sergeant at Arms, welcome you to the evaluation workshop for Division F. This session will be blocked till 8:30 p.m. That's why you are expected to stay for the entire duration with full enthusiasm. I would like to begin by stating the mission. We, at Toastmasters, provide a supportive and positive learning environment in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before we start the workshop, I would like to highlight some key points. First, please make sure you follow the instructions as and when they are shared by the trainer. Please do not exit the Zoom room once the workshop has commenced. Regarding the topics of sex, religion, and politics, even though Toastmasters International does not put any restrictions on speaking on these topics, but at Division F, we request all members and guests to be mindful and responsible. Please abstain from expressing any controversial views on these sensitive topics. I also urge you to be cognizant of the fact that we, as a division, practice diversity and inclusion, both in letter and in spirit. Hence, we request you to ensure there are no sexist, racist, or any such undertones that create hostility and discomfort for members and guests. Fourth, please stay on mute throughout the meeting and unmute yourself only when you are asked by the trainer to do so. Thank you for your attention. Let's have an amazing and enriching workshop. Now, I would like to hand over the stage to someone who has always ventured on his journey of Toastmasters with a smile on his face. He is a final year engineering student, always striving to learn and enrich lives through his leadership. He is also a lover of philosophy, an aspiring entrepreneur, and the immediate past president of UGI Toastmasters. Please welcome Toastmaster Anukul, our session moderator of the today's meeting. Please welcome him.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sergeant at Arms, for the session, Toastmaster Anushika. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Evaluation is the breakfast of champions. This phrase, well known in Toastmasters International, highlights how crucial evaluations are to our growth. Whether it's in communication or leadership, feedback drives us towards excellence, helping us refine our skills and move closer to our goals. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Toastmaster Anukul from Division F, District 124, and I'm delighted to be your session moderator for today's session. I warmly welcome you all to this exciting workshop organized by Division F to help us sharpen our evaluation skills. A special thank you to our division leaders for making this event possible and contributing to support our growth. This evaluation workshop is particularly important as we prepare for the upcoming evaluation contest. The art of delivering constructive feedback is not only essential for contests, but also for everyday lives, be it Toastmasters or beyond. Learning to evaluate is learning to observe, assesses, and articulate improvement in a way that inspires others, obviously. Today's session will give you the tools to do just that. We are incredibly fortunate to have with us a distinguished speaker and a true champion of Toastmasters, our workshop trainer, distinguished Toastmaster Avinash Singh. Is a name many of you might already know. DTM Avinash has been a Toastmaster for the past 8 years and is a three-time district champion from District 98, having secured first place in the humorous speech contest in 2020, table topics contest in 2022, and most recently, the evaluation speech contest in 2024. He was also the first runner-up in the prestigious international speech contest in 2023. But that's not all. Avinash was named Toastmaster of the Year 2023-24 for his outstanding contribution to the Toastmasters community. Since 2020, he has conducted over 200 educational sessions globally, focusing on speech crafting, impromptu speaking, humor infusion, and most importantly, feedback management. Apart from Toastmasters, Avinash is a founder of training influence and brings over 15 years of experience as a personal development coach, keynote speaker, and learning and development consultant. Let's give a warm welcome to distinguished Toastmaster Avinash Singh. Before I hand over the virtual podium, a quick reminder to all the attendees, please post your questions or doubts you have. I will also post it in the chat box itself. You have in the chat box. These will be addressed in the Q&A session towards the end of the workshop. And now, without further ado, over to you, DTM Avinash.
Thank you, Anukul. And I've started my timer. I would request a few of you to switch on the cameras because it will be easier to connect with people. And my sessions are not PowerPoint driven. I present my point powerfully. So that is something which I do. So try and let's have a conversation. Okay. So the whole workshop idea is that the first 25 minutes is something where I will give uh, insight on whatever I have learned over the past 8 years and my training career. Um, like they say in the reel, I learned it in 10 years, but I will give you in 20 minutes, right? So that is something which I will share it with you. And after that, we will have a mock contest. Okay, so there will be a test speaker, there will be speech evaluators, okay, and it will be like a contest. I will also be noting down the points and I'll be giving feedback to these evaluators, speech evaluators, after the mock contest is done. So this is how the workshop will go. The other point is that the questions, whatever you have, we already had one question. So I would request others also to note down those questions and we will try and address them after the contest and after the feedback session is over. Then we will try and clear the doubts. Okay. Now, how many of you have finished 2 levels in the curriculum, pathways curriculum in Toastmasters? One, two, three. Nice. Great. How many of you have actually gone ahead and given an evaluation? Speech evaluation. One, two, three. Nice, nice. I ask. So many are new to this particular field of how do we give feedback, why, how exactly to go through it. Now, when I started learning about, see, I already knew what feedback was, okay, because I was training people on feedback. But when I entered Toastmasters, it was an arena where things were a little different. Someone said CRC. What do you mean by CRC? Anyone? People will think, "Ah, what a lame question." Okay, tell me. Yes,
So it's,
Anukul,
Comment.
say something.
so it's commendations, recommendations, and commendations.
Awesome, awesome. Nice, nice. Uh, you know, I was dealing with two Anus in my home. So my wife's name is Anupriya. My sister-in-law's name is Anushri. The meeting was started by Anushika and it was taken forward by Anukul. So I am having the Anu syndrome right now. So great. Thank you. Thank you. So commendation, recommendation, and commendation. Right. Now, why do we have, so we also call in the training parlance, we call it as the sandwich method. Okay, between two breads you give the patty. Okay, so the patty is the improvement point recommendation, and then you have two commendations. Why do we do that? Quick, quick, we don't have time. Anyone? Yes, just unmute and say.
The speaker will get motivated and they'll not leave the stage for permanently. They'll come back and give the stage and give the speeches back.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That is good, right? They will not leave the stage permanently, they'll come back. So that is a pertinent point, right? Now, how much commendation should we give? Any idea? As in, how much quantity? If you want to quantify it with respect to Toastmasters in up from 100%, how much percentage will you keep for commendation and how much for recommendation?
2 to
3 is
3.
to 2. 3 is to 2.
Maybe 70 is to 30%. 7 is to
70
3.
30. 70-30 is what we do, right? Okay. Now, Toastmasters is different when we come to the reality of professionalism, okay? And or when you come to see of course, my father is no more, but when he used to be there, he used to say, Avinash, you are wrong. It's not that I did something wrong. No, 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 no. You are wrong, right? So he used to be that, the direct method of giving feedback. And I said, I will be a better father. And when I became a father, I continued the legacy of my father. But thankfully, I had two people, two things, right? My wife, who's a psychotherapist, and Toastmasters, who told me, no, 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 don't tell your son he is wrong. Say he did something wrong. And this is what we need to understand when you are trying to evaluate the speech. So you evaluate the speech, not the speaker. Okay. Now people say, oh, but we will have to evaluate the speaker, right? Because it's, content and delivery. How will you? So what this particular thing means is that on that particular day, how the person has delivered that speech. Now, the person can be a distinguished Toastmaster, can have the halo effect. Oh, today he was not that good, but he is a very good speaker, right? But can you go ahead and just give marks for, not being good on that particular day, right? So we need to understand that we need to be very logical, reasonable, and have to deliver whatever we see on that particular day. And for this, I have a quick formula. I don't use PowerPoints, but I use acronyms. So you need to care about the speaker. Care. C-A-R-E. Care. Right? So the first C. C is critique. What do you mean by critique? Any idea? Anyone? Quickly. C-R-E-T-C-R-I-T-I-Q-U-E. Critique. No?
Critique is negative. Is a negative word.
It's not a negative word. So critique usually means analysis. Okay, it's analysis. So analysis is not right or wrong. It is for both. Okay, what was good and what can be improved. So you have to analyze first. If you are a good analytic person, then you will be able to work towards giving, understanding what was good and what can be improved in the speech. Now, I am more of a creative person, not more of a logical person. So I found it a little difficult to understand how exactly to give this analysis and, make sure that the person also is motivated at the end of the day. So you say the areas of improvement in such a way that the person gets inspired and motivated to come back, right? So that is something which I had to learn. And now someone asked me, Avinash, how much I have joined, the Toastmasters 3 months ago. how much time will it take for me to become a good speech evaluator or win the district championship? Right? And I said, so I joined in 2016, I won in 2024, so 8 years. But not exactly, right? So there are people who are good with analysis. They are quick like this. So it will be much easier for you people. For people who are not that, it's a skill. It can be developed, right? So what do we analyze? We analyze content and delivery, right? What are the speech elements in the content? Come on, quickly. So we are analyzing the speech content only, talking only about content. What all things will you look at in the speech content?
Opening, closing, body.
Opening, body, conclusion, the structure, essentially good.
The-
Very nice. What else?
Purpose
The
of the
logic.
Opening,
speech.
body, and closing.
Purpose, opening, body, conclusion, purpose. Very nice. Purpose.
Logic.
Voice modulation.
Voice modulation will come in the delivery part of it. I'm just talking about content. Okay.
The logic and reasoning.
Logic and reasoning. Okay, fair enough. In the writing, there should be logic. Okay, right.
Relatable.
It should be relatable. It's a very vague term, but still, I'll take it. Right. How exactly do you relate? We will have to see.
Core message and call to action
Speech,
for
speech.
audience.
Message, purpose, message. Yes, specific
Thinking
purpose.
the audience.
Sorry,
Audience.
audience. What audience? You
Thinking of
have to think
audience.
about the audience when you're
Yes.
writing the content.
Yes.
Okay, good, good. What else?
Transitions.
Transitions, very nice, right? Your speech should flow like a river. So one part to the other, it should have a good transition, smooth transition. Good. What else?
Story. A personal story
You
maybe.
need a story, then the elements of storytelling. Okay. What else?
The correctness of language.
Everything is done. What else? Yeah, someone said something. Sorry.
Language correctness.
Language. Yes, language.
Vocabulary.
Yes, the correct
Engagement of audience.
engagement of the audience. Yes, to a certain extent. More of it can be done in delivery, but yes, some aspect of it can be done in content also. A very little part of it, but yes, engagement. Okay, thank you for the whole thing. Okay, so quickly I will just summarize everything. When you talk about content, first of all, what I go ahead and think about is, what is the purpose of my speech? Right? Now, there are two kinds of purposes: general purpose and specific purpose. Anyone knows what a general purpose is? General purpose?
Inform.
Awesome. Very nice. Inform,
Persuade.
persuade,
Motivate.
Entertain.
Humorous.
motivate. Someone said that is inspire. And the fourth one
Humorous.
is
Humorous.
entertain.
Information.
Yes, we got that, right? So good, good. Very nice, very nice. People are very sharp here. Wow. Okay, so you speak to inform, you speak to entertain, you speak to inspire, and you speak to persuade people. What is the difference between persuasion and inspiration while writing a speech? How will you differentiate when you are writing a speech? What is inspiration? What is persuasion? Come on. I ask a lot of questions. Come on, come on, come on.
Persuasion means maybe person needs to be persuaded to do or maybe follow whatever is being conveyed. What was the other point?
Inspiration.
Inspiration is persuade means like when someone is not agreeing, but you are giving a speech to persuade him to agree to your viewpoint. That is
Okay,
persuade.
okay.
And motivate is he might be agreeing, but he is not motivated enough to do that work.
Do. Yes, yes, you got the right point, the do part of it. Okay. So inspiration does not guarantee action. Okay. So I can inspire you by telling the things that worked for me. Not necessarily you will take action on it. Okay. But in persuasion, you want the person to take action. Right. So when you are trying to analyze the speech which you have in front of you, okay, if you are doing this, in a club environment, you already know the purpose, you already know the objectives. But when you are doing in a contest, then you don't know exactly what it is. So then you can pinpoint, okay, is the person telling me to take some action, or just inspiring me, or just telling me that, okay, this can work. Okay. That way I know whether it's an inspirational speech or a persuasive speech. Okay. And if it's not both, maybe it is just to inform me. Okay. One thing which persuasive speech must have at the end is the call to action. Okay. So if I tell you, if I try to persuade you that, you have to join the 5 a.m. club, okay, you have to wake up early in order to, be successful in life. Then at the end, I will say, will you wake up? Will you wake up at 5 a.m.? Okay. And everybody will say, yes. And then next day, nobody will wake up. Okay. But the main idea here is that, did you get an affirmation with respect to the persuasion, the call to action, right? Now, why is it important to understand all this? Because unless and until you understand what speech elements are, how will you analyze them? How will you know whether the speaker is using that or not? Right. So first of all, it's general purpose, 4 kinds of general purposes: inform, entertain, inspire, persuade. Okay. Then the specific purpose, that is, what is the message? What is the takeaway of the speech? You'll have to understand that. Then you go ahead and you try to understand, okay, whether there is structure: opening, body, conclusion. Now, what is the characteristic of a good opening? Quick, only 10 minutes remaining. Come on. I'm spending more time on analysis. But
It
yes,
immediately grabs attention.
grabs attention. Awesome. Yes. So you have to have an attention grabbing speech. So it can be a statistic, or it can be an anecdote, a storytelling, something which grabs the audience's attention. Okay. What is the characteristic of a good body? Okay, not muscles and all, the body of a speech. Come on, tell me.
Storytelling. Personal story?
Personal stories? Okay.
Sir,
Good.
a good smile and an unshakable confidence.
Oh my God. Okay. Both delivery. Okay. So we'll come to delivery, but yes. So when you talk about body, it should have, so you start with the message. You want to give a message. There should be some supporting evidence, right? And if you give your personal story, it is a good idea. It should also have logic in it, because especially if it's a persuasive speech, you have to balance the emotions and the logic both, right? So the body needs to have, you can use storytelling, you can use personal stories, you can use anecdotes, you can use a lot of things to support what you are trying to say. And it needs to have an outline. I'll come to the outline quickly later. And how should be the conclusion? What is the characteristic of a conclusion? Good conclusion?
Call for action?
Call for action only if it's a persuasive speech, not for every speech.
Like
So
what
summarizing the
started with this?
evaluations.
Awesome. Anukul is right. Okay. So you have to summarize whatever you have said in the speech, and you highlight or specify the message. Okay. Or say something which remains with the audience for a long time. Okay. So you have to do something which is retained by the audience, right? Now, opening, body, conclusion, if you want to make sense of it, you need to have a proper outline for it. Okay, how does your speech flow? Okay, so one way to go about it is problem solution kind of a way. So I say there is a problem. People don't wake up in the morning. That is a problem. Okay, and solution. Okay, so I define the problem, I tell about the problem, and eventually I tell them that, okay, how I came about this particular solution. Okay, then there can be chronological way. Okay, so you can use PPF. Okay, have you invested? What is PPF? Past, present, future. Okay, so chronology, you go from past to present to future. This is how you form the speech outline. Then there is cause and effect. Then there is topicals, topic, subtopic. So your speech can be in any way. Okay, how you are trying to make that outline, but it should make sense, it should flow. Okay, and then the transitions or catchphrases or callbacks, that should be there in the speech. So this is only content. When you go to delivery, delivery has two very specific things. Okay, non-verbal communication is more about vocal variety and body language. Okay, so vocal variety and body language, you can work on these two things. It's the third speech in level 1. Okay, vocal variety, body language. If you know that, then you can actually evaluate speeches based on vocal variety, body language. Also, in content, someone said language. There can be descriptive language. So you can also use storytelling. Okay, storytelling. I use 3 C's: characters, conflict, climax. What exactly you are doing? Okay, does the story have good characters? Does it have a good conflict? And what is the climax? So storytelling can go in that particular way. Plus descriptive language. There are a lot of things which you use. You can use figure of speech. You can use the triads. I came, I saw, I conquered. Okay, the power of 3, and there can be words used which create visual imagery, right? So the language can also be one part which can be analyzed. In delivery, you have vocal variety. When I think about vocal variety, I have the 3 P's. Okay, pitch, pace, pause. So if I am displaying a happy emotion, then my pitch will be high, my volume will be high, my pace will be fast, and my pauses will be few and far between, right? But when I am displaying a sad emotion, then my pitch will be low, my volume will be low, my pace will be slower, and my pauses will be more. Okay, so this is the way I go about it, right? In vocal variety, and it should not have a sing song tone, or it should not be monotone. So you can use that. Then body language, how is the person using the eye contact? Okay, someone said engagement. Engagement can be done in multiple ways. One way is eye contact. The second way is you use some audience interactive question, ideally a rhetorical question which does not have any answer, or a yes no question. That's a good way to use audience engagement. And then you also use humor. Okay, and body language, you can use the gestures. And I usually don't tell people that, okay, you have used the stage or not used the stage. Forget, I don't do that. So once you have analyzed all this, okay, then quickly you come to ARE, and ARE is simple enough. I'll just give you the formula and you will understand. Okay, A is affirm. Affirm is what is the good point. Okay, someone said 3-2 formula. It's right what I use. Okay, I give 3 commendations, 3 good points, very specific points, and 2 recommendations, that is 2 areas of improvement. How to go about it? Affirm. How do I go about it? I ask 3 questions to myself: what, how, why, for commendations. Okay, so what was it? Oh, he used some humor. Okay, so I specify, oh, Anushika, when you were saying this particular line, oh my God, I laughed so much. Okay. So what was it? How? You went ahead and you twisted it at the end, and that created humor. How did you do that? And why is it important? And humor engages people. That is why it was a fantastic way that you did. Okay, so this is one commendation. If you go in this way, it will be very specific. You will say what it was, how you did it, and why it was very important. And finally, you come to recommendation. You just change the way you go about it. Okay, then you say what, why, how. Okay, so what can be improved? Oh, when you were talking, Anushika, when you were talking about your mother, that was a sad moment, but I couldn't feel the sad emotion. Okay, so what, why? When you are able to display the emotion through words and through gestures, it actually connects with people, and emotion actually makes people move, right? So you needed that. How can you do that? You could have reduced your pace, pause more, and the pitch should have been lower. And that's how, and with facial expressions, you could have displayed that. So how do you do it? Very important, right? So if you don't say the how, it doesn't help the speaker at all, right? So 3 commendations: what, how, why. Okay, and 2 recommendations: what, why, how. How is very important. Okay, and finally we come to the encouragement part. Okay, so the encouragement. Okay, yeah, so you can, the encouragement part, I'll quickly, I know just 2 minutes more. So the encouragement part is something where you make the structure nice. Okay. So I usually go ahead with an opening statement. How did I relate to this particular speech? What was special about this speech? Okay. And then I acknowledge the speaker, tell him kudos. And then after, once I have acknowledged, I keep on saying speaker, speaker, speaker. So opening statement, then three commendations with what, how, why. Okay. And then a transition statement. Usually we say, if you want to take the speech to the next level, you do this, right? So you can use anything. You can also use thematic. So if it is about cricket, oh, you did great with the forward defense. Moving forward, but the defense was a little weak. Let me give you two recommendations on how you can make the defense better, something like that, right? So transition statement. Then two recommendations: what, why, how, and then you summarize. Okay, 1, 2, 3 was good. When you work on 1 and 2, then the closing statement. Okay. Okay, I am sure you will, whenever you come on stage, you will always hit the ball out of the park, something like that, right? So if it's a thematic, or you can just say every time you will inspire the audience or something related to the message, right? So how do you bifurcate with respect to time? 1.5 minutes for till commendation, 1.5 minutes before green card. Okay, 30 seconds before green card. Then 1 minute for recommendations, and the next 20-30 seconds for summary and encouragement, right? This is how you bifurcate. It is 24 minutes and 46 seconds. So this is how you go about it. This is how you care. Okay. So C is critique, A is affirm, 3. Okay. R is recommend, 2. And encourage, you create a package and you give it, and people will be encouraged, right? So now my time is up, and let's start the mock contest. Thank you. I tried my best to, keep it, you can see the recording again, maybe. Okay, I tried my best. It usually takes 5 more minutes, but yeah. So thank you so much, and I give it back to the session moderator to start the mock contest. Okay, over to you, Anupul.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure hearing it from you. All those points, all those pointers that you have given us. Let's start the mock contest, and later on we will enjoy the graceful evaluation by DTM Avinash. Okay. Moving on, just wanted to confirm that the test speaker is able to see the timer cards and is ready for the for her speech. Just wanted to confirm it with the test speaker, and then we'll move forward. Okay, so Toastmaster Rashika Suneja, shining without the spotlight. Shining without the spotlight, Toastmaster Rashika Suneja. The stage is all yours.
Thank you. Just 1 second before I start begin. Just wanted to confirm: am I audible? Because if I move back and stand, I might not be audible. So if it's just as good, so I'll be here only.
Yes, yes, Rashika, you are audible. You are clearly audible.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. It was 2004 when I was in my 7th grade and preparing for an inter-school music competition in my music room. I saw my nursery class teacher entering into the room. I suddenly became joyous. But all of a sudden, all of my joy turned into nervousness when she directed her attention towards me and asked, "Oh, Rashika is also participating. Is she audible?" Determined to prove that yes, I can be heard, I stood tall, squared my shoulders, and began the timeless anthem. We shall overcome. Immediately after this statement, I heard a sarcastic laughter from my back and saw my teachers smiling at me, raising their hands to stop me. It was an indirect message of saying that you are not meant for this performance. I was politely asked to go back to my classroom. Good evening, leaders. Toastmasters, and guests. I wasn't sent back because I went off tune, but because while speaking, my mind, body, and soul all were showing the efforts I was putting to sing that particular line to prove that yes, I can be audible. I have a soft voice, and many times I have felt my voice getting lost in the noise, making me feel like an invisible background character. I have lost the track of time, how many times I have experienced that I need to shut down my thoughts just because someone else with a louder noise swooped in and stole the spotlight. I was being made fun of my voice in my class. My batchmates used to say, shh, 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 shh. Rashika is saying something. Stop, stop, stop. I have seen my teachers smiling at me. Just imagine what would have happened to my level of self confidence at that time. I have received titles like too slow, tortoise, and on the top, boring just because I was a disciplined kid. Don't used to jump over the benches and wriggle like a snake. I was a disciplined kid who used to walk straight. As a kid, I was the poster child for good manners. But after a while, all these compliments started to seem less like gold stars and more like invisible chains, sticking me at the background and everyone else taking the spotlight. And let me tell you, feeling like you are invisible is no fun at all. But there is something surprising. Despite experiencing all this mockery and like a background character, I never felt the need to change myself who I was. I wanted to be heard, I wanted to get be respected, but never tried to change myself. Once while introspection, I asked myself, you are a star kid of your school, good at academics, curriculars, then what's missing? Voice. It's a God gift. What can you do if it's naturally soft? My brain replied, but you need to speak for that. People don't hear me. I don't like talking to them anymore. Then how will you use your soft voice, which you are proud of? This was a light bulb moment, and I decided to speak out, to speak up, to claim my space in a world that often overlooks the weak. I was unfairly labeled as underconfident due to this perception of having a low voice. And when I decided to speak up, the tides turned into my favor. My teacher complimented me for the quality I have in my words. I received the title as I speak like motivational speaker Brahma Kumari's sister Shivani. I hope you must be knowing her. These were like affirmations for my voice which was finding a space in the cacophony of opinions. I embraced that. Sometimes we become Lord Hanuman, who need a Jaman in the life to make him realize its importance. The moment this lady Hanuman realized that her authentic voice is her strength, she crossed the sea of apprehensions and landed to the empire of Toastmasters. where everyone listen to me, respect me, and admire me as well. I still speak soft, but now my authenticity rose. I would say if you are facing any kind of issues that you are not able to fit into the society's expectations, don't try to be because you are not meant to fit in someone else's expected shoes. Be yourself the way you are and let the world accept you. Do you know? You shine radically when you are authentic. You don't need any spotlight to shine. Be yourself and let your authentic radiance shine like a spotlight. Trust me, this world needs more authentic gems like you. Over to you.
Tech Master, please confirm all the three evaluators have been moved to the breakout room. We will give them 5 minutes for their evaluations. Tech Master, please confirm to me all the three evaluators,
Yes,
all the
they
three
have moved to the
contestants.
breakout room with Lisa.
Okay, done. Show me a red card when the time is up. The 5 minutes are done.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Tech Master. Now, I request our DTM Avinash to please utilize these 5 minutes for any kind of thing which he wants to share with us. I got to heard from you few minutes back that you want 5 minutes more for presenting your session. So please, could you please provide us any insights, sir? Over to you.
Yeah, I tried my best to finish it within the 25 minutes. So see, the point here is that once you are thinking about, now I will not comment anything about the guest speaker, so I am trying to avoid that. That we will discuss later. What we need to understand is speech evaluation uh, starts with the thought that you are here to help someone by being the sounding board. Okay, so the person has might not know what that person is missing in that particular speech, so you are there to help fill the gap. Everyone who is an adult has an opinion. So sometimes we also feel that, oh, I have just started my Toastmaster journey. How can I evaluate DTM Avinash? Right? So you can share your feedback, you can share your opinion. The only thing will be that it might not help me in the way I would want it because I am a little further in the journey, but I will definitely need an insight. And sometimes new people, okay, who just come into a particular environment can give some very nice insights, right? So I often tell people that, okay, if you don't have an experienced person who has seen a lot of speeches, I don't mind getting feedback with from anyone. Okay, even if the person has joined today, because you might have an insight as an audience and exactly. So that is one thing you need to work towards, that okay, first of all, care about the speaker. Okay, you are here to tell the person that, okay, how can you improve. Now there is one thing that we always do, which you can start working upon, is be specific. So if someone says, Avinash, you need to improve your vocal variety, it will not help me. What in vocal variety? What exactly do you want me to do? Okay, it will take me years and years to actually improve my vocal variety. So for this particular speech, is there any specific thing? So instead of that, if you go ahead and say, Avinash, if you could have used a different voice for character one, and a different voice for character 2, it would have made a good distinction between two characters, and it would have been a nice idea, right? So I can definitely go ahead and work on this small thing, okay, for this speech. So how can I keep on improving? I give more speeches so that you can give me such small pointers, and slowly and slowly and steadily, I will be able to improve. But if I say, oh, improve the structure, what in the structure? The opening was not working. What in the opening was not working? So be very specific. That's why if someone gives you a generic statement, don't accept it. Go in detail. Tell me what exactly. What do you mean? What exactly do you mean? Okay. So if the person has great intentions, the person will take time and patience to explain it to you in detail. Okay. But whenever you're giving a speech evaluation, I just want you to follow one thing, okay, before the red card appears, that if you are seeing a speech, your recommendation should be such that if Avinash gave a speech right now, you gave Avinash 2 recommendation points. Avinash has 30 minutes. He goes, he implements those in, recommendations. He comes back. Okay. Avinash comes back, and when he delivers, he's able to implement those recommendations quickly, and you will see a change, right? That is a very good recommendation. Okay. But if I need a lot of time to implement those, I will not be motivated enough as a speaker itself to take your evaluation, right? So always have that particular thing in mind, that, okay, you have to slowly, a little bit, help the person. Okay. So that's my time, giving it back to Anukul. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for providing such wonderful insights. Okay. Moving on, Tech Master, please confirm the first contestant is in the room.
He is in the room.
Okay. So, Toastmaster, Toastmaster Pulkit, we will now do a quick audio video check. Are you able to see the timer cards? Please confirm.
Yes, I can. It's blue color
Okay,
currently.
it's blue now. Tech Master, could you please change the color now?
Green,
Green. Okay,
yellow,
good, and
red.
red. Excellent. Moving on. We'll now do a quick audio check. Toastmaster Pulkit, please repeat after me. Today is a great day to have a contest. 1, 2, 3.
Today is a great day to have a contest. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, with the gestures now. Today is a great day to have a contest. 1, 2, 3.
Today is a great day to have a contest. 1, 2, 3.
Brilliant. So, contestant 1, Toastmaster Pulkit Gupta. Toastmaster Pulkit Gupta, contestant number 1. The stage is all yours.
Shining under the spotlight is what each of us has dreamed at some moment in our life. And today, definitely, Rashika lived that through her speech. Here's where I feel her speech shone bright under the spotlight. The very first thing was facial expressions. Throughout her speech, the initial part, she was conflicted. She was yearning for redemption, and her facial expressions told that story. When I listened to her, I was actually in a conflict mode myself because the speaker made me feel so. And then we had redemption, where her mind suggested that there could be an alternate way. And then there was happiness. And when Rashika smiled, I definitely smiled as well. Facial expressions were beautifully done, Rashika, and I commend you for that. She chose a topic, the content, which each of us as humans can relate. We all have had our own share of miseries, challenges, tribulations. And Rashika, when she chose the topic of conflicts and eventual redemption, she connected a chord with all of us. So well done on the content department. The structure was on point. She started with a story right away. No good mornings, no good nights. Story happened right away. And then we had conflict, redemption, and an application when she got into Toastmasters, and then she gave a message to redeem all of us up. So the speaker shared a story and then also gave a clear message and call to action for each one of us. The structure was beautifully done. But Rashika, being on the spotlight also attracts critique, and here's where I feel she could do better. The questions were there, but there were few, and far between. You had a question towards the end, but how about when you were sharing that when you felt being in the background, you could ask people, have you ever been in a situation where you felt like that? Or when you've been made fun of after you made a statement, can you ask, have you ever been made fun of? These questions simply make the audience think and sway with you. I encourage you to have more questions in your speech. Vocal variety is where I feel you could have done better, Rashika. If the facial expression told a story, your conflicts and your happiness wasn't told in the vocal way. It was still monotone. And having good vocal variety will simply complement your beautiful facial expressions. Rashika, if you can simply add more questions to sway the audience and vocal variety to elevate and enhance on your speech, facial expressions, and keep up the amazing work on the facial expressions, relatable content, and the structure so beautifully done. I'm sure, Rashika, your yearning to be in the spotlight will become a second habit, and you will be a star in the making. Over to you, contest chair.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, contestant number 1, Pulkit Gupta. Tech Master, please confirm contestant number 2 is present in the room.
Session moderator, shall we not observe 1 minute silence between contestants?
Okay, yes. We will observe 1 minute of silence between the contestants.
Thank you. So moderator, 1 minute of silence.
Thank you so much, Tech Master, for the confirmation. Contestant number 2, Toastmaster Bhumi Singhal.
Hello.
Are you able to see the timer cards?
Yes, I am.
Please tell me the color.
It's green right now. Yellow. Red.
Great. Toastmaster Bhumi, repeat after me. Today is a great day to have a contest. 1, 2, 3.
Today is a great day to have a contest. 1, 2, 3.
Good. Contestant 2, Toastmaster Bhumi Singhal. Toastmaster Bhumi Singhal, contestant 2. The stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, session moderator. You shine radically when you are authentic. I'm so happy to acknowledge those 7 minutes and 12 seconds of your pure authenticity. The way you started off with your journey, explaining how your days were back in the school, like all those moments, especially when you started off with the singing part, that how you were trying to get into that singing competition, then coming to how your classmates treated you, and then how the teachers were to you, everything that you tried to explain, and you were really trying to pour all of your emotion in those words, and you really don't have to be loud in order to make your words make more sense, because you really had that type of structure in your entire speech that we all could have an entire view. Okay, now this is happening. Okay, now this is happening. And oh my God, what next? What's going to happen next? Even I was curious to know that, okay, how is she going to overcome it? And how is her journey going to begin in Toastmasters, where she is heard and respected by her words and not by her voice? The emotions that you try to pour in those words, the shame and the disrespect that you tried to show, I really could connect it. But I have a few pointers with which you can make it a little bit better. First one has to be voice modulation. Not just raising your voice up to the bar, but just modulating a little bit, maybe going a bit low tone when it's a sad or a serious emotion, or getting a bit excited that, oh my God, I really don't have to change myself. Those bit of voice modulations could have added more impact to your speech. Secondly, which I felt was, again, this could have helped the audience to connect better with your entire speech. Even they could have felt that, okay, yes, the disrespect and the shame that you felt, and then you coming up from that. Even the audience could have related more to it. Then the ending was really good, summing up the entire speech, how you overcome your fear, got into Toastmasters. But again, the ending could have been a bit more impactful because I believe all of us had, in some ways, a fear of public speaking, or maybe we wanted to explore more. Hence, we are all here in Toastmasters. So maybe that ending could have been a bit more impactful so that we all could relate that, yes, we also had some reasons to start our Toastmaster journey, maybe to improve, maybe to get better, maybe to remove that shame and disrespect we had while we spoke. So that ending could have been concluded better, and I could have took a lot of takeaways, though I did, from your speech. A few, even you mentioned a few sound effects like shh, that was really good. I love that part, the sound effects that you added. Overall, I love your entire structure, the way you started from the rock bottom part to how you are shining right now. And always remember, don't try to fit yourself in the mold that society has created. You were great and your speech were great. Thank you so much. Over to session moderator.
We'll now observe 1 minute of silence. Tech Master, show me the red card once 1 minute is over.
Should I start? Hello?
Contestant number 3. Toastmaster Nikhil, are you present in the room?
Yes, I am.
Okay. We'll do a audio video check in a while with you.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Tech Master. So, contestant number 3, Toastmaster Nikhil Yadav, are you able to see the timer cards on your screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, tell me the color, please.
Green, yellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Toastmaster Nikhil, please repeat after me. Today is a great day to have a contest. 1, 2, 3.
Today is a great day to have a contest.
Excellent. Toastmaster Nikhil Yadav, contestant number 3. Contestant number 3, Toastmaster Nikhil Yadav. The stage is all yours.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Today, we had such an engaging speech from Toastmaster Rashika. Congratulations, Toastmaster Rashika, on delivering such powerful speech. And I need to mention that a speaker like you doesn't need any spotlight. Titled Shining Without the Spotlight, Toastmaster Rashika's speech focused on her journey from being an invisible background character to more like a poster girl. What I really enjoyed about her speech is how, especially the storytelling, that the way you
told us about your journey from a point where you thought you were inferior. People made fun of you, and from there you went on to become a voice that that can be heard. How it helps the audience is because at some point, at one point or the other, we always feel inferior to others. But although it eats into our confidence, but you showed us how we can be a better person by literally changing nothing and just our mentality. Other than your storytelling skills, what I really liked about your speech was your body language and your body language and your voice modulation. And the standout point was when you said, I tried to be heard, but never changed the person I am. I mean, it was like a life lesson being served on you, to the audience on a platter in such a subtle manner that we do not need to change the person we are just to fit in. However, just a few areas to improvement that I think you can do away with is first, when is first is obviously you should try standing while delivering your speech, uh, as it will give you a better exposure to the camera, and your hand gestures can be will be visible in a better manner. Another aspect that I noticed is when you are delivering a speech that has some kind of timeline attached to it, you need to make sure that that your speed of mentioning those events is not, you are not rushing through the content, so that the audience has enough time to catch up with the timeline. Other than that, I felt the speech was phenomenal. Your pauses, especially, were very good. That gave audience time to that they needed. And to sum it up, I would just say that yes, your voice was soft, but your message was loud and clear, and it went a long way. I look forward to next speech to sponsor the discussion. Over to you, contestant.
Okay. So now I would like to call DTM Avinash to present his evaluation about the speech evaluators. Over to DTM Avinash.
Thank you. Am I audible? Rashika, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Loud and clear.
Thank you so much. No, I was just connecting to her speech. Okay, thank you, Rashika. Uh, I have 10 minutes in order to finish everything, right? So listen. Now, I'll start with what I felt about the speaker, and then I will give quick feedback on all the three contestants, okay? Because it will set a tone of what exactly was expected and how I felt. Now, understand this is an opinion, okay? And you can have a different opinion. When I give feedback, it's up to you to accept it or not. I'm just stating what I observed. Okay, so let's start with it. Rashika, I love the way you connected with the audience. In fact, all the three speech evaluators had great things to talk about you, and the way you were trying to inspire people, it really connected with people. So great job done, shining without a spotlight. I also shine, but I need a spotlight, here. So I shine. Yeah. Okay. Um, I love that you used a personal story. I love the way you were trying to define the problem, which actually people understood the gravity of the situation, right? So that is always good in storytelling. Okay. What can be improved? And it was a very good message. Be yourself, okay, and be authentic, okay. And people, once you accept yourself, people will accept you, right? So very nicely done. According to me, what could have been improved, my first major point was that how did the tide change? How did the change happen? Okay, so you shared a lot of things and suddenly things changed one day. How? So things don't change like this. Okay, there are two ways in which usually a story needs to be told and the transition needs to be made. Okay, the transformation can be because of a tragedy. Okay, so maybe you went into the reflection mode, a depression mode or something which made you, okay, now enough is enough, right? That can be one turning point, one changing point. Or it can be, some mentor came in your life. The mentor can be anyone, your mother, your father, someone who told Rashika, what are you doing? Okay, you are my sweet child. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. Okay, don't look at the world. Okay, people can say so. Someone. Okay, so if you would have shared that transition, I would have loved it more, because the content needed that transition, that climax. How exactly did you fight those mental monsters? I wanted to know that. That was not shared. When you're sharing about a story, it is good to have characters. Okay, so your teacher could have had dialogues, your mother could, or mentor, whoever came in the picture, that point was missing. But if there was a mentor, that could have been given a specific characteristic, and the climax, how things actually changed for you. Because people are not looking that, okay, I am sad, okay, I am happy. What is it that I took in between? Okay, so pehle मैं बहुत पतला हुआ करता था. I used to be very thin, and then I ate this, and now look at me, right? So you need to have, I took this. What is that? That needs to be shown. And I would have loved the conclusion could have been, looping to the starting. Okay. Eventually, my dear friends, if you come across this, just remember, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. So you could have closed the loop by inspiring people in the same way you started, right? So it would have given a good spin to your speech, and people would have remembered that authenticity and the inspiration that you gave in the end. So that could have been a good conclusion. So this is, according to me, what I would have done with respect to the speech evaluation. Now let's quickly go to Toastmaster Pulkit. Pulkit, I love the way you structured, okay? The choice of words that you were using, fantastic, right? So I was able to go through the evaluation. I love the way you structured your evaluation. You were motivating the speaker. You are using good words. So I really, I've become a fan, right? Pulkit, very nice. Okay. And you gave good commendation. So that was a highlight. Your recommendations were towards improving questioning and vocal variety. I agree with the vocal variety could have helped. Improving the question part, I believe the engagement was already there. Okay, so people were into her story, so more engagement was not required, right? So that would not have helped. Monotone, of course, she would have added a character or two and given different voices, then that could have been a good point. So be very specific. So I would have loved if you improve your monotone. How? Where? So instead of just saying that, you could have taken one sentence from her speech. See, Rashika, when you were saying this particular sentence, you said it this way. But instead of this, if you could have said in this way, do it and show how is very important. The first part you did share something, but in the second recommendation, you forgot about the how. Very important. So that can be improved. Otherwise, analyze more. Content comes first. Okay. So the content did not have the transition from how she actually overcame that. So that can be added to it. Otherwise, the way you are, please continue that. Good job done. Okay. Let's go to Bhumi, Toastmaster Bhumi. Amazing, amazing. Huh? What's happening? So we are already in division, I believe, and these are champion speakers and evaluators. Okay, I love the way you had a smile. Okay, the a good smile, and Rashika was like, okay, oh, I love to hear more about it. Okay, tell me, Bhumi, tell me more good things about me, right? So it was fabulous. Okay, one thing which so you gave commendations, you tried to say a lot of good things. You shared about modulation, to be very specific, and conclusion could have been better. Okay, now what I felt is during your speech evaluation you were summarizing a lot. Don't summarize. Don't summarize. People have heard the speech. Okay. You don't need to go from, okay, you started here, then we went there, yeah. Not required. Be very specific. The first thing which I like, the second thing which I like, the third thing which I like. If you don't want to number them, you just, so this is the good thing. This was also good. And the best part was this. 1, 2, 3, very specific. And then next, go ahead and say recommendation. So again, recommendation, modulation. How exactly? How will she do modulation? You didn't give a specific example for her to follow you. How is very important. So you could have taken one sentence, and instead of this, if you could have done that, so it would have helped. And conclusion. Okay, that was good. That were, again, I like the way that you said that conclusion. That was also my point. I would have concluded it in a different way, but you could again give one example that, okay, you could conclude in this way. You said a few sentences, but it did not, I was not able to catch. And if I am not able to catch, imagine the speaker. So you'll have to be very specific. You could have concluded in this way, 1, 2, 3, or one particular sentence. That would have been great. So I only have this particular suggestion, that don't summarize the whole speech, but you forgot to summarize in the end. So why do we summarize speeches? Because the speaker needs to understand, okay, oh, what was the good thing? 1, 2, 3 were good. 1, 2, I need to improve. 1, 2, I need to improve. Okay, let me go back. So you did not go ahead and summarize for the speaker that, okay, improve your voice modulation, work on your conclusion, and you will be able to always do that, so that the speaker remembers in the end what the speaker needs to work on. So that is something which you can work on. Very good job done. And TM Nikhil, he is the epitome of doing something with example. So when he gave the recommendation that, okay, stand and deliver, he was standing and delivering. Okay, so kudos, yeah. I was thinking, my God, these people already know what they are saying. So fantastic. Okay, I love the way you shared one thing which I particularly paid attention to, how it helps the audience. You shared that. Okay, and this is very important. You shared some good points about the speaker, and you also shared that how it helps the audience. The audience know, oh, okay, this is way it helps me. Oh, wow, thank you, Nikhil, very much. Okay, you will need more time with respect to analyzing the speech. Okay, the content needed a lot of work. You spoke on stand and deliver. You spoke on time versus content. I believe that it needed the transition more rather than the standing, delivering, and time versus content. So we need to understand what comes first. Okay, so it's not the age old question of whether the chicken came or the egg came first, but you will need to understand that what is that one thing, only one thing. If change, it will change the whole speech, and that will be your first recommendation. And then after that, it will be the second recommendation, something like that. Okay, so this is something which you can do. You will need more time with respect to analyzing speeches, go more over the content, understand how speeches are structured. Now we have all those help, chat gpt, ask chat gpt, okay, how a good speech is constructed. Okay, don't go and tell chat gpt, oh, create a speech for me. No, research. Use ChatGPT for research. Okay, it will tell you from 10 different sources. Okay, the speech structure, it needs organization, it needs structure, it needs anecdote, it needs so you will come to know what exactly you need to focus on in a speech. Okay, so all in all, I love the way the quality of evaluation was good, the way it was shared. You will need to be very specific and try to analyze what comes first. Okay, if you can analyze what comes first, content comes first. Focus on the content. If content needs work, don't go on the delivery as the first point. Okay, so this was from me. I took 11 minutes and 36 seconds. I was supposed to take 10 minutes. So I'm so sorry. Right. So if you have any questions, okay, so moderator Anukul, Toastmaster Anukul can help me with this. Okay, and I might have some time. We have a few minutes maybe. So please ask your question. Yes.
Okay, so I am saying a hand raise of Toastmaster Isha Agrawal. So, Toastmaster Isha Agrawal, are you there in the room? Okay, so you are on mute. Toastmaster Isha, please
Yes, I'm
unmute
there.
yourself. Okay,
Yes.
so please ask your question.
Sir, I have a few questions. Number one, can we have paper in our hand while evaluating?
Yes, you should have. Ideally, in a contest, the challenge is that, ideally what happens is, see, we need to have eye contact with the audience. Okay. So when you look in the paper, sometimes it goes. So you need to know what the content is in the on the paper. So
Yes.
if you go and look in the uh, 2021 World Champion Variety Prize, she was the evaluation champion in 2015. Now, during her evaluation, she did not refer to her paper. She had put it on the lectern. Okay, but she did go and refer because she was trying to say, okay, what nice words did the speaker use? So she did not remember everything, but she had noted down. She quickly referred it and told. So it's always good if you're not confident. I usually don't use paper because at district level you should know what you are talking about. But when you are starting your journey, please have the paper, please have the diary in front of you so that you don't. It's not about you, right? It's about the speaker. So always, it's a good idea. It's okay. Nobody will mark you down with respect to this having paper in that. Okay, next. You had many
Mm,
questions. Any other?
yes. Second one, like suppose for vocal variety,
Hmm.
suppose if I the tone, but there was no enough pauses, like the speaker was too fast. So
Hmm.
can I have a breakdown of it and refer one in recommendation and the other thing in recommendation and commendation respectively?
So you want to say what I understood is okay, your pauses here was good, but here it can be improved. That is what you are
No,
trying.
no, sir. For example, in the vocal variety, as you mentioned, pitch and pause. Suppose the pitch was good, but the pauses weren't. So, can I tell in commendation that pauses pitch was good, and in the recommendation part that pauses weren't good?
Yes, yes. See, the point here is that pitch, pace, pause is for emotions. Okay. So
Yes.
together they create emotions. Okay. But
Correct.
pauses standalone is also required for emphasis on certain points. Pauses are also required for creating humor. So before the punchline and after the punchline, you need pauses in order for people to start laughing, right? So pauses standalone is also important, right? So you can use that. Yes, definitely. You can say pause here, pace here, pause there. You can do that. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And just the last one. Any specific tips on while listening to the test speaker before and after? Like, how shall we note down the points?
Uh, if you can manage not looking down on your paper and still noting points, then you can do it during the speech because
Okay.
there are good examples in division contest in our particular district. Someone looked down while the speech was going on to note down an area of improvement, and that specific moment the person actually used what he was trying to recommend and he missed it.
Okay.
Okay. So if you can, look at the speaker and still note down a few points on the paper, good. But if you cannot, wait for it. Keep it in your mind and then use the 5 minutes. But I bifurcate the paper so it is much easier. So I have a space for good points. I have a space for areas of improvement. I have a space for suggestions. I have a space for summary. I have a space for opening statement. I have a space for closing statement. So I have bifurcated my page into different parts. Okay. So it is easier for me quickly to glance. Okay, I'm writing here. And then I can look at the speaker. Okay. And in split second, of course, I can look where I'm writing, but that can be done. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. These were all the doubts.
Thank you. Anything else? Anyone?
Thank you, Toastmaster Isha. Is there anyone else in the room who want to ask something? Because I also have few questions for DTM Avinash, sir.
Sure, sure.
Okay. So let me first ask my question. Sir, should we mark a speech lower if it is if it successfully engages humor and also has an entertaining message, but lacks a motivational or inspiring message, even if entertainment was the primary objective, please?
Okay. So essentially what you are trying to say is the content was weak, but the delivery was good, right? So when you talk about content is weak, but the delivery is good, it is good for that moment. People will not retain anything when they go home. But a speech is essentially for people to take away something from the speech, right? So ideally, even though the speech is entertaining, I laughed a lot, but if it has something for me, okay, then it is of value for me, because at that point of time it's not a stand-up comedy that I'm trying, and today stand-up comedy also has so many messages, right? So you will need to so there is nothing called as mark down or mark up, but the point I got what you're trying to say is always try, take when you take the stage, it's your responsibility to give a takeaway to the audience, okay, because they are spending 7 minutes or 7.5 minutes to listen to you. If they don't get anything out of your speech, then you have wasted their time. So ideally there should be a good message for the audience. Engagement, remember always that entertainment or humor is always to engage people, connect people, okay. What after that? Engage, you have done engagement, you have done. What after that? What is it that will stay with the audience? That is very important. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. One last question. How to always give something new and nuanced as an evaluator to the speaker, as repeated evaluations feel boring, as many a times when I served as a general evaluator or speech evaluator in my regular meetings at my club. So I also feel it not so much interesting to tell or to got to hear repeated evaluations, like as you have also said in today's session, that if someone told you that you will have to work on your body language, you will not feel that much interesting, that what in body language or what exactly in body language. So yes, I just want to ask this question to you, please.
Okay, so how can you do interesting evaluation? So see, the point here is if you have a good intention for the speaker, you will try and find out something new. Okay. One thing which we should always avoid is, okay, so say for example, Anukul knows Avinash. Okay. Now Anukul knows that Avinash always uses storytelling, but somehow he does not define his characters and its characteristics properly. Now it is a known thing for you. So without even hearing, if you have made up your mind that, okay, my first recommendation will be this, then you are going in the wrong way. So you have to treat each and every speech as a new speech, and I am sure when you treat that speech for that particular day, you will be able to find something new. And then if you want to make it interesting, right, like to package it in a different way, so instead of saying how can you take this speech to the next level, you can say, okay, how can you take this already great speech and make it spectacular or fabulous, right? So, or you can use a thematic way of going towards it. So if you're talking, so today's speaker was you started with the singing, the notes. Okay, so you can say, wow, you shared the notes perfectly. The singing was awesome. The speech had all the right notes. There were a few notes which did not fall accurately, and let's talk about that particular thing. Okay. Or you can say the cadence, the rhythm of the speech is enhanced when you have voice modulation. So how can you take that? So what I'm trying to do is I'm making this speech a little bit more good to listen, easy to listen. So that can provide a little bit of variety. If you're looking at variety, it will need some practice.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Definitely. Thank you so much, sir, for answering the questions. We'll again wait for some time. If there is anyone else's question in the room, please raise your
Yeah.
hand or let us know. Yes, Toastmaster Anushika, over to you.
Thank you.
Or okay. So please pronounce your name. I'm unable to see you. Okay, okay. Ritika Arora. So are you a guest or Toastmaster, Ritika?
I am a Toastmaster.
Okay, so Toastmaster Ritika Arora, please ask your question.
Yeah. So my question is uh, regarding the transition. So, the sir was pointing out regarding the transition, I just wanted to know that how much time should we spend in a speech talking about the change, and how much time we should talk about before the change. So there are like two major parts. Like one, I was a certain way and then I changed, and then miracle happened. So how much time should we allocate to both the parts in the speech? Which should be more, or it should be balanced?
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Right. So the point here is that if you watch a movie, what is your favorite movie, Ritika? What's your favorite movie?
There are so many favorite movies, but I think Three Idiots. Three
Movie that
Idiots
you
is Three Idiots.
Three Idiots, right? Okay. So Three Idiots was good because, eventually at the end, what happened to, all the while we were thinking about, okay, about this character. Okay, what happened to this character? There was suspense built from the beginning. There were a lot of trials and tribulations. And eventually, oh my God, Rancho went away. He didn't get the degree. What happened to him? And then eventually you say, oh, he's Pongsu Kwangdu. Oh my God, it was good to see. See, so the transition was shared in a very, small packet in the end. That okay, he did not stop there. The degree did not stop him, and he went ahead and he started, writing papers and so many patents he had filed and all those things, and it built his credibility, right? So you spend a lot of time, okay, on defining the problem. You spend a lot of time in on the conflict part of it. What is the conflict? So I love the way Rashika was trying, Toastmaster Rashika was trying to, she spent a lot of time in defining the conflict. So that was the best part of it. Most of the speech, almost you can say 40 to 50% or more than 50%, she was defining, how difficult it was, right? But the transition, okay, was missing here. But if she would have added the transition, then it would have worked like a charm, right? So always the bigger the conflict, the bigger the success. Okay, we like David versus Goliath because Goliath is very big and David is very small. The challenge is big, and if a small person can overcome that challenge, then wow, we do that, right? So always big challenge, small transition, or small, the way you overcome that challenge. It can be two, three, four sentences, but it should be there. I hope I
Yes, yes, this was really helpful. So I have another question. So normally they say that we need to arouse emotions of the audience. So how can we arouse emotions of the audience? Because not every speech we would be able to. So how can we make it more emotional?
there is a whole different workshop, and I I take a lot of for it. Don't worry. Okay, see, there is this. So this is for everyone. So there is this person called David J.P. Phillips. Okay, so he has coined this term, death by PowerPoint. Okay, so he has this talk, a TED talk, which talks about how we can help people feel different kinds of secret different kinds of hormones in us. How can we release dopamine? How can we release cortisol? Okay, and essentially what he's trying to say is how we can evoke those emotions. Okay, so you can actually go ahead and try and watch that video, and you will get insight on that. uh, in short, you need to know what emotions are. Okay, so like I told you, if you are happy and you know it, you increase your volume, increase the way you speak about it. Okay, so if I say, I believe you would have seen that reel where there is this person listening to something in a crowded metro, and he starts laughing. and he starts laughing. He's not looking at anyone, and he starts laughing like anything. And suddenly people also feel that, and they also start laughing. Okay. So that is the power of different emotions. So if you can feel and show that emotion, people have mirror neurons. That's why if you see a reality show, okay, India's Got Talent, America's Got Talent, okay. So first they will have everything scripted, but they give you that, okay. Oh, first people will not believe this particular person, okay. The contestant come, hey, who is this? Oh, who is this? Okay, the audience will be shown, and then suddenly the contestant starts singing. I did not imagine this. I did not, right? After that, someone will be shown in the audience who starts crying. Okay. So the did not start crying because of the thing itself, the performance itself. It's the story told before. Oh, I used to, have faced so many challenges. Okay. And then they say that where this person has come from. So that's why we like rag to riches stories. Okay. I did not have anything in life and I still reached here. And then it inspired, yes, I can also do this. So you will have to create those scenarios for people, and people will start feeling those emotions. So that is something. So I believe we are out of time because if there is any last question, please ask, and then we can just end it. Or if you have time, I have time. Though that's not a.
Yes, sir. We also didn't observe time much when we are listening to you today. Okay. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritika. Now I would like to ask our test speaker, Toastmaster Rashika. So, Rashika, so would you please ask any question, Toastmaster Rashika?
Thank you, Toastmaster Anukul. And many thanks to distinguished Toastmaster, our moderator. This was a pleasure to get feedback from you. I was quite occupied and tired as well, but when I was being asked to be a test speaker, I said, no worries, I will be there. Because these opportunities I don't want to miss. This is a blessed opportunity where you can improve. Thanks for your feedback. Now I'm holding this question for so long. So today I think that it's the right time to ask. Um, as I mentioned about my voice, I have faced challenges, but honestly, I want to ask. Okay, before that, now the moment I have joined Toastmasters, it has been 1.5 years that I am a member of Toastmasters. Since first day, what I'm trying to do is trying to be audible till the back. So I don't speak at my normal pitch. I speak a little loud so that I never get this comment at least in Toastmaster that Rashika, we were not able to hear you. And I try to be extra loud. With that extra loudness that I bring up, it's easy for me to share words. But when it comes to emotions and add a vocal variety, and I have completely received all the feedbacks, and I have received same feedbacks earlier as well. And the challenge I am facing in applying those techniques is because I am trying to be extra loud. So how can I emote? But if I'll speak a little in a lesser volume, then I might not be audible. I may be able to convey my emotions with vocal variety or facial expression, but what if the audience will not listen me? It won't be worth it. So,
Got it.
mm,
Got it. I understood what your point is. I know there are emotions. You're emotionally very no, good. So good that up. It's a very good quality to have. See, you need to understand that we speak at a particular pitch. Okay, so men usually have the basal tone. Okay, and women usually have the higher tones. Okay, so for you, you are soft spoken. Okay, now you need to. There are two ways to go about it. First of all, if you're soft spoken, take use of technology. Use a mic. Okay, that's the simple way of going about it. Okay, the difficult way is, and this is for everyone, you can use that. We have a particular pitch at which we speak. Okay. Now you will need to understand that you might have seen that sometimes when we sing, okay, our voice cracks when it is a high pitched voice, a high pitched. Okay. So sometimes I try to sing Arijit Singh and so it is gone, right? So what happens is my pitch is here, my neutral pitch is here. Okay. And if I go from here, neutral pitch to higher pitch, it should be like, okay, this is my neutral pitch. This is my higher pitch. So I can actually go higher from here. But when I go lower, I am still audible, right? So I need to first find. So Rashika, you will need to find your neutral pitch from where if you shout or if you go higher, your voice does not crack. And if you go lower, you are audible. You're not inaudible. So once you find that neutral pitch, that will take some doing. Okay, then you will not have to increase the so see volume increase cannot happen. So at one pitch, you can only increase the volume to a certain extent. If you do it more than that, then your voice will break. Okay, so the pitch has to go higher. Okay, so your voice, if you can work towards deeper voices, okay, try and if you see any good female leaders, they might have a deeper voice. Okay, and I'm not talking about Amitabh Bachchan deep voice. Okay, but you need to have a little deeper voice. So once you have a deeper voice, okay, then it will be taken care of. So you don't have to shout, you have to become deeper. But let me tell you, I'll give you another angle. Okay. So if I speak a little softly right now, can you still listen to me? Are you able to? You are able to, right? Okay. And if you're saying something which is worth a lot, people will be glued. People will be putting the ear. Okay. So don't focus on the voice, focus on what is coming with the voice. Okay. If you improve your content, whatever voice you have, people will make cues to listen to.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, Avinash, I have just one last question. When you talk about like female leaders who have a deeper voice, if you can just share some examples, I think it would be really helpful.
You can look at you can look at Michelle Obama when she is speaking. Okay, one of the good speakers I have seen. Okay, so listen to her. By default, you will be able to see the way they speak. Okay, so you can just type female leaders. Okay, so Indira Nooyi or Michelle Obama, you look at and listen to them. You will find that they have a deeper voice as compared to. Usually, women have a higher pitch. Okay, when you have a higher pitch, when you go higher than your higher pitch, your voice becomes shrilling. But you will not find the shrill in these kind of speakers. Okay, so try and have that basal tone. Okay, if you can. And you can just type. Okay, so listen to Michelle Obama. Don't worry about any other person. Listen to Michelle Obama. You will find what I'm trying to say. I hope you got it
Yes,
right.
yes. Thanks. This is really helpful.
Most welcome.
So we are good to end the Q&A session. Okay, we'll not take any questions ahead. Thank you so much, DTM Avinash, sir, for an incredible session. Your insights into evaluation, your guidance during the mock contest, and the way you handled all our questions were truly invaluable. We all have gained a deeper understanding of what it takes to become better evaluators, and your expertise has inspired us to sharpen our skills even further. All in all, it was a good time for all of us having you today. Now, I would like to hand over the virtual podium to our Division F Director, Toastmaster Devang Pandey, for a quick vote of thanks, and then we will end up the session. Over to you, Toastmaster Devang Pandey, sir.
A very good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Thank you, Toastmaster Anukul, for giving me the stage. A very good evening, everyone. And I really loved the way the whole workshop was organized. From the very beginning till the very end, it was so smooth. A very special thanks to our speaker for today, distinguished Toastmaster Avinash, for taking out time on a Sunday evening. Personally, for me, being in Toastmasters for more than 3-4 years, there were a few learnings for me as well. I really liked how you said upon the 3 Ps: the pace, pause, the pitch, pace, and pause. Apart from that, there were a lot of revisions for me, that asking rhetorical questions to the audience, how humor helps. And towards the end, you talked about ARE, affirming the commendations, then the 2 recommendations, and lastly, the encouragement. So really loved how, you constructed the whole workshop, and the way you so humbly answered all the questions that were asked. So a special thanks to you. Apart from that, thanks to Toastmaster Anupul, to our SAA Toastmaster Anushika, our Tech Master, and the audience who stayed till now and are interested in listening, and are interested in learning how evaluations can be done. I would also like to thank our test speaker for today, Toastmaster Rashika. She gave a wonderful speech, and the 3 evaluators who took out time and delivered such wonderful evaluations. Every evaluation, I believe, was different in some way, and it was beautifully summarized and also told by DTM Avinash. So overall, I guess this workshop would have definitely helped our division members who were here to learn, and with the Toastmaster season of evaluation competitions and multiple other competitions that are lined up, I believe this workshop will really help everyone. So thanks to everyone for joining. And again, a special thanks to our speaker for today, distinguished Toastmaster Avinash. I will return the stage back to our moderator, Toastmaster Anupul. And thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Division Directors. So we are good to end the session. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much, DTM Avinash. Good
Thank
night,
you.
sir. And good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye. Take care.